All right, now from Germany, Martin Emrich!
Did much better with my hands today, right?
Yes, I'm so thankful you mentioned that and you learned something from me. What
an
an honor.
I did. Absolutely I did.
Thank you. Hugh Hilton, it's such an honor. And I want to start with a little feedback and then ask you a question.
Sure.
And you will see how the feedback is connected to the question.
Okay, that's why you're a doctor and I'm not.
Yes. Now, I was absolutely impressed by your speeches today and yesterday, and I loved the way you presented. Mm-hmm. I had tears in my eyes when you told the story how you reconquered the love of your life after 11 years. That really touched my heart.
Oh, thank you.
So that was for the right hemisphere of my brain.
Yep.
For the left hemisphere of my brain, I love all your case studies. Wow. Thank you for being so transparent and telling that on stage. And I've learned so much. I've wrote many, many pages, and that was so impressive. So thank you for sharing that. Mm-hmm. Now, for me, you are an absolutely ingenious speaker here on stage. And this is my question. Mm-hmm. I offer courses in Germany for people who want to be a professional speaker and who want to have an international career as a keynote speaker. Mm-hmm. What is your recommendation that we should teach them so that they can be a top speaker all over the world? Mm-hmm. Not only today, but also in the 1920s, in 2020, 2030, so even for the future, how can mm-hmm. they be prepared? What competencies should we teach them?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think it's a great question, and to be honest with you, I never spoke. As JT said, he met me in a doctor's office. I was hooked up to an IV, and I didn't know that he had the doctor slow it down. And we got talking, and I shared with him some of my experiences, and it was fascinating because he said to me, he said, you know, I'd like to have you at some of my presentations to speak. Would you do that? And I said, no. He said, no, you really need to do that. And I said, no, I really don't need to do that. I'm just fine, thank you very much, because I had the initial impression, yeah. I said, really? I'm going to get up in front of an entire room and talk? I said, no, not me. And literally, that's why it took him 2 hours to finish the IV, because it took him 2 hours to convince me. And the first time I got up, it was fascinating. I'll never forget this. I got up, I was ready to speak, and I was just really nervous. And I looked out in the room, and there was like 500 or 600 people out there, and I went like, oh my goodness, how is this going to go? And what's interesting is I got up, and right before I started, a calm came over my body. And I wasn't nervous anymore. My heart wasn't beating quickly. It was this really interesting experience. It's almost like divine intervention. And then when it happened, what I did is I said, wow, that was really interesting. There's obviously a reason why that happened, and I said, I really need to do this again to help people accomplish things in their life that I've accomplished, and there's nothing special about me, and they can accomplish that too. So I thought, I really want to do this to help people enrich their lives and have joy and happiness in their life. And that's really what drove this whole thing. And
right. So it's more attitude, inner attitude to give people something
exactly.
more than techniques or body language.
Absolutely right. It was all about giving back. To me, I looked at it and I said, I've had a blessed life and some amazing things happened to me in my life. And it was an opportunity to give back to other people. And as I said earlier, I would have loved to have somebody help me when I was growing up, and that's why I believe in JT and his strategy to coach people, because there are a lot of things out there that aren't apparent, and when people explain them to you and give you examples of like, look at how this happened, and the key thought to leave you with is, any one of you can do this. Any one of you. It isn't like, hey, I'm this special person. No, I just had a passion for what I wanted to do, and in the moment when it all happened, I didn't know it was going to work. I mean, when I did these things, I just knew I had to do something. And a lot of people's lives depended on me to fix these companies. And if I didn't fix them, everybody lost their jobs. And to that extent, I think there was probably some divine guidance going in, because I think back about some of these things I said, how did that come into my mind that second when I said it? And so I really believe, to the extent with these young people, just kind of saying, this is part of your soul's journey and growing and being able to share things with other people to enrich their lives and make them have a happier life. So
great, thank you so much, and I can really feel this energy coming from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Emrich. I really appreciate it. Thank you.